I love science. I've loved it for a long time. I still love it. I think it's wonderful. But science needs to be taught correctly as well. I mean, you have to do a certain amount of philosophy before you can do science. I mean, if you consider something like, does mathematics describe the real world, or is it really something that's just an artifact of the human mind? That's a philosophical question. That's not something you can prove or disprove through some series of experiments. You have to make a choice. And there are good arguments to be made both ways, and whatever choice you make, it has consequences. So, coming to the understanding that there is no getting away from philosophy, from a worldview, from having to make some assumptions, from having to introduce an element of belief, was revelatory for me. And understanding that science itself is full of wonder and mystery and things that we don't fully understand, whether it's dark matter and dark energy, or how you can't fool an electron can move through a maze and it will know before you do what switches you're going to flip, so that what routes are going to be open, and it will adjust its behavior before you make your decision. No one can explain that. So, I mean, it's just all this kind of stuff that I think hints at a larger reality, a more complex vision of reality, and I'm very attracted to the Catholic way of thinking about these problems as lenses on a mystery. We can look at the mystery of creation through the lens of science. We can look at it through the lens of Scripture. Each will contribute to our understanding. To the extent that we can't reconcile something, we don't understand something, it just means we don't possess God's infinite intelligence, and we can't see things from God's timeless and eternal perspective. Ultimately, if we could fully understand everything, we would find that it all lines up with Catholic thought and Catholic teaching. We have the concept of mystery in Catholicism. Catholicism admits that there are things we can know to be true without having a full understanding of those things. So the question of whether what we mean by the fullness of truth can't be reduced to everything that's scientific and true and is encapsulated in this, because there's this acknowledgement right from the outset that reality is larger and more complicated than what we can weigh and test and measure. It would all be there, right? If we had perfect knowledge, if we could see things from God's timeless and eternal perspective, if we had infinite intelligence, everything would come together and fit with Catholicism. But we also have to understand that, everything hasn't been revealed to us. Things will be revealed to us when we're meant to know them. And in the meantime, we have to live with a certain amount of mystery.